What's up guys, it's USA Specialist, and a while back I made a video where I gave my thoughts on Battlefield 2042's 5th season. In my eyes, while Season 5 is the best this game has ever been, it came off the back of 2 years of patches, updates, cut content, and lowered expectations. And while New Dawn was fun, it ultimately opened up a big issue with DICE and their live service moving forward into Season 6 and beyond. The sad truth about Battlefield 2042 and Battlefield 5 is that both games were released in terrible condition, and then DICE used that as an excuse to market a whole series of patches and updates as live service content. DICE and EA are very much selling us a broken product and then marketing the repairs back to us over time, so much to the point that we have journalists now praising DICE for correcting their terrible mistakes. Think back to Season 1 or 2. Now imagine those updates without the patches, and what do we have left? One new map, bringing us to a total of 8, one new playable character, a single gun and crossbow, a cosmetic-only battle pass, and one new vehicle. All of which had to be delayed a number of months and came off the back of years of work. Meanwhile, Battlefield 1's first DLC offered 6 new maps, an entire new faction, a new fan-favorite game mode in Frontlines, 2 new vehicles, new melee weapons, new ranks added to the progression, and several new guns, all in a more polished state than ever before, and on top of a game that already had a single-player campaign, and arguably the best graphics of any Battlefield map ever, on top of 9 maps, all starting day 1. What I'm trying to say is that DICE and EA are turning patches into content, and I think that's why we've seen so many players fall off, even though the game is technically now much better. Instead of creating new maps, weapons, or campaigns, they're marketing patch notes as if it's a new playable mode. They even name patch notes and release them in a seasonal cadence. A season is now more so an update that happens to bring along some content. And Season 5 is the most blatant example of this, because as the game isn't really seeing as many major patches anymore, Season 5 felt very anemic, with a single small map, a few new weapons, and no new specialist. Season 5 was banking on its final updates like balancing portal weapons, but once you strip all those patches away, you're left with an absolute skeleton of a live service. And that's why I'm wary of Season 6, because if they continue on this track, then that means we'll see even less than we did in Season 5. The game's a reasonably fun experience at face value, but as an ongoing live service, stuffed with microtransactions that's still years away from ever matching the amount of content we got in Battlefield 1 or Battlefield 4, it hasn't given me any reason to get involved with DICE's little marketing gimmicks on social media for Season 6. They're constantly cutting corners, lowering expectations, and marketing patches as content, all while they cut modes and tell consumers that wanting a finished product like we used to get is now unreasonable. Hopefully things will change in the future as we now have Criterion joining the production of the next game, but at some point with all this money, all these resources, and all this time, EA and DICE have to realize that shipping patches instead of content won't be acceptable, and the few thousand people that still play this game every day will continue to move on, especially if Season 6 turns out to be like Season 5 with even fewer changes. But guys, drop those comments below and tell me what Season 6 could possibly do to grab your interest. For everything else Battlefield, stay tuned and subscribe, and as always, thank you guys for watching.